Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm calling this meeting to order. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the State Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the Department of Education, Secretary of State's office, and notice has been given to the State House press corps, the Governor's office, and the State Board agenda subscribers as well. And as a quorum is now present, this meeting will come to order. May I please have a motion from board members?
Motion.
Thank you, Mary Beth Berry. May I please have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much, Sylvia. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. Anybody opposed? Hearing nothing. Now we're going to go into executive session, whereas in order to protect the personal privacy and to avoid situations wherein the public interest might be disturbed, the Open Public Meetings Act permits public bodies to exclude the public from that portion of a meeting at which certain matters are discussed, and therefore be it resolved that consistent with the provision of NJSA 10:4-12B, the State Board of Education will now adjourn to executive session to discuss personnel and legal matters. May I please have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you very much, Mary Beth Gazy. May I please have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Mr. Fernard, thank you. All those in favor, may I please have a motion? Oh, we just did that. I beg your pardon. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, please say nay. We're now going to executive session. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. I'm not ready. My computer is not functioning. Is Chris Parker in here? Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for coming. I'd like to reconvene, please, to resume our public meeting portion. Whereas, consistent with the provision of NJSA 10:4-12B, the State Board will now adjourn from executive session to resume the open session portion of this meeting. May I please have a motion? Thank you. I believe that was Sylvia. It was Mary Beth Berry. Thank you so much. May I please have a second?
Second.
I believe that was Sylvia. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Please say nay. We will now go into the public portion of our meeting. Thank you. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and Vice President Mulvihill will lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, welcome back. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. For those of you who are here in person, I welcome all of you today to our meeting in Trenton. As the State Board meetings are accessible to the public for viewing on the YouTube channel, I would like to advise you that YouTube actually provides readily accessible language translating options as well as closed captioning. If you are viewing the simulcast at this time, you can use the settings option for YouTube and the information about subtitles, auto translation, and closed captioning in multiple languages. So we'll continue now, and I would like to ask for an approval of the minutes for August 2nd, 2023 that we had. Like to ask if we could go ahead and vote on approving the minutes. All those in favor, or I need a motion first.
Motion.
Thank you, Sylvia. I need a second.
Second.
Thank you very much, Mary Beth Gazy. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Motion carries to accept the minutes. This month, the State Board will receive open testimony. At this time, we have about almost 160 people registered to speak on the educational topic of choice. For the month of October, the State Board will receive testimony on the readoption with amendments of Chapter 3, controversies and disputes. We have a student representative on the board, Millie Ghosh. She's a junior at West Windsor Plainsboro High School of Mercer County. She will be joining us virtually today. I see her on the video. Hello, Millie. How are you?
I'm good, President Goldenberg. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you. It's good to see you. We look forward to you coming back next month. We will not be receiving a report, I understand, today, but thank you for joining us. Okay. I'm going to read the policy committee notes because Elaine Bobrove is not here today. The policy committee met twice since our last meeting, once on August 9th, to discuss the proposed readoption with amendments of Chapter 3, which are the rules governing controversies and disputes process. The rulemaking is on today's agenda, so I will forego further details about that. But we also met on August 28th, and we discussed possible revisions to the New Jersey student learning standards for math and for English. We had discussed logistics for today about that. However, at this time, the department has not yet presented us with what we're doing, so we don't have them on the agenda at this time. The policy committee met on August 28th, as I said, to receive updates on the status of the New Jersey learning standards in English and in math. It's still under review. We have received an update on the status of the proposed amendments to Chapter 14, which is the special education portion. We anticipate that this will be on our agenda for October. And we discussed the readoption of Chapter 3 briefly on controversies and disputes, which is on the agenda, as I'd said. The National Association of School Boards of Educators delegates. I am that delegate for New Jersey nationwide. The rules are that they will be presenting and voting on the people to be on the board to run the National Association of School Board Educators. They have a meeting in San Diego it's in October. And I would like to go ahead and tell you that the nominee for the chair-elect for the board of directors is Kevin Ellis. He's from Texas. The nominee for secretary-treasurer is Fern DeJardis. She's from Maine. She's also currently the head of the budget committee, which I've served for 6 years for NASBE. The nominee for Northeast Area Director is Aaron Benham from Connecticut. And unless the board objects to these three candidates, I would like to have New Jersey place their votes for each of them. The Board of Trustees for the Board of Directors, Kevin Ellis, Secretary Treasurer Vern DeJarnis, and Northeast Director Aaron Benham. So I don't know if I need a vote on this, but I'd like to take one just to be sure, not a roll call vote, May I please have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much.
Some discussion.
Sure.
So you recommending, because we don't know these people, you're good with this?
I've met them all. Those are the only three candidates.
So
there is no one else that they've come forward with.
Good enough, thank you.
Thank you. And they're all very nice. I've worked with each of them. They're actually hard workers, and I think they'll do a great job. I haven't worked with the woman from Connecticut. They had asked me to do it, but I think that it's better to have the Connecticut individual do it. So, any other questions?
Kathy, thank you for all your work with NASBE. You've been representing New Jersey so beautifully all of these years. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. It's very interesting to see how differently different states provide education to their students, because as you know, we are all put on the board, but in other states they're elected. In other states they have much discussion with legislators and with governors, and it's just very differently run. Than each state has different parameters. So it's been a great learning experience. So thank you. Next, we didn't vote yet. Thank you, Andy. All those in favor of the three candidates, please know by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Anyone have any disagreement? Please say nay. Any abstentions? All right, New Jersey will put in for them. Thank you very much. Now we'll go ahead with the commissioner's report.
Thank you, President Goldenberg, and good morning to you, Vice President Mulvihill, members of the State Board of Education, to those in attendance in person, and to those in our viewing audience. It's good to be with you, and I hope everyone had a wonderful Labor Day. I would like to begin with an update on our successful Educator Certification Fee Holiday Initiative in collaboration with Governor Murphy. To promote this program, I was guest on the Fox 29 Good Day Philadelphia morning show on August 7th to discuss the goals and achievements in this first month. At that time, the department has waived over $1.5 million in certification fees and supported over 1,000 teachers and candidates in their pursuit of teaching certificates. The program will continue until the end of June in 2024. As of August 31st, the department has waived over $2.1 million in certification fees and supported over 2,100 educator candidates in their pursuit of certification. So I think that deserves a round of applause. That is just really wonderful. The department is also finalizing the review of grant applications under the Universal Pre-K, also known as UPK, and regular operating districts, also referred to as ROD districts. These two opportunities represent a total funding exceeding $1 billion, with over 700 projects reaching the final process stage and 40 local educational agencies submitting applications for the UPK funding. The department plans to announce the initial awardees in the coming weeks, with the UPK grants first, followed by the ROD recipients shortly thereafter. In August, we announced the 2023-2024 County Teachers of the Year. In an award ceremony at the College of New Jersey, which was live streamed for additional reach, I congratulated each of the 21 educators who were selected by their respective county office of education as an embodiment of dedication, effort, and service. Serving as ambassadors for New Jersey's public schools throughout this school year, they are now eligible to be selected as the 2024 New Jersey State Teacher of the Year. The named individual will then represent our state in the National Teacher of the Year selection process. Again, I congratulate the 2023-2024 County Teachers of the Year and look forward to highlighting their extraordinary work in the coming months. The latest installment of the Teachers Monthly Newsletter was issued on August 21st in the online Teacher Toolkit. The NJDOE Monthly Teacher Newsletter provides information and resources to target teachers. It includes a message from New Jersey State Teacher of the Year, Christine Gertain, information on the services provided by various program offices within the department, and helpful resources spanning instruction supports, and professional development. The toolkit can be found on the department's homepage by clicking the word teachers in the blue bar at the top to access the latest newsletter. The beginning of the 2023-2024 academic year is here, and I think it is the most wonderful time of the year, by the way. Many schools did, however, open their doors in August. And so we continue to work to empower students, educators, and parents to dream, serve, inspire, and achieve. Our social media team will promote these tenets, and I ask everyone to tag us in all of your social media posts. Our Back to School New Jersey 2023 campaign will promote works in conjunction with the successful Power of Education campaign and our Good News in Schools, of course, hashtag, with updated graphics and banners on our social platforms and website. As we set the narrative of back to school highlights for the New Jersey Press Corps, we strive to elevate the teaching profession by highlighting the positive impact our educators have on students and encourage greater interaction with the Department of Education. Our social media will also be emphasizing Suicide Prevention Month to help in the efforts of public awareness. Suicide is a serious public health problem that can have long-lasting effects on families, communities, and of course, those individuals suffering from suicidal ideation. Preventing suicide requires strategies at all levels of society, including prevention and protective strategies. Everyone can help prevent suicide by learning the warning signs, promoting prevention and resilience, and committing to social change. On September 1st, I visited Pix 11 News in the heart of New York City for an exciting back-to-school segment. I joined morning news hosts Hazel and Dan in a lively discussion about the upcoming school year's challenges and opportunities. The segment was not only informative, but also showcased New Jersey's dedication to ensuring a successful and safe return to school for all students in New Jersey. As always, please be sure to smash that like button and to share as well as retweet and spread awareness of the exceptional work being done in your districts and department highlights. I want to say that we also are on Threads, so please follow us on Threads, which is the newest social media platform. And I thank you, President Goldenberg, for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Continue? Thank you. So I would also like to take, please.
I believe there's a question from Mary Beth Berry.
Of course.
Commissioner, I was just wondering if you had any update on the 3rd and 4th grade tutoring program that's starting, I believe, October 1st. Is there any updates on that?
Yes, and I have Lisa Habrel here. Will you please come forward? She's our Executive Director in the Division of Teaching and Learning Services, please.
Good morning. The tutoring program has been off to a great start. We've run 4 technical assistance sessions to raise awareness of the grant opportunity and to help districts and LEAs understand the parameters of the grant and the criteria. We'll be holding 2 more sessions on Thursday and Friday of this week, and it looks like the applications are coming in fast and furious. The closing period. Applications are due on September 20th, and so we'll be reviewing those applications and hopefully having those grants out in October.
And am I correct, October 11th through August 31st is
the grant period?
So I was wondering, I mean, it's exciting that we're getting high impact tutoring out to young people. It certainly seems like a good group to target. But I was wondering, you know, are we getting the numbers in? Are the applications coming in as you had hoped? And you know, are we on board to start with that October 11th?
It's a fantastic question. Because it's a competitive grant, our program office doesn't have access to the applications coming in. We can certainly reach out to our grants office to determine the number of applications, and we'd be happy to share that at the close of the application period on the 20th, so we can update you with those numbers.
And I just have one last question. I see that the vendors that are providing that that tutoring are already in place. That application process is already closed, correct, for vendors? But they could come from individual schools.
Absolutely.
Okay, so my question was, do individual schools have to wait to a school board meeting for those people to be selected as being able to provide that tutoring, or how is that working? Because it seems like a pretty quick turnaround from September 20th till October 11th.
It is, and it's a fantastic question. So we've allowed for that in the grant application. So if districts haven't made their decision, the idea that they would develop their grant and the proposal, that would be included as if they're selecting to work with a vendor, that they would include some sort of agreement indicating the parameters of that contract. It doesn't have to be a signed contract or a purchase agreement or a purchase order at that point, just an indication of that partnership. And so if it's internal, the board, an anticipated board adoption date would be acceptable evidence.
Because there's a lot of funding. I mean,
There
it
is.
seems like a lot of money, and I got a little bit nervous with that. With the final amount, was it 52 million?
It is almost $52 million.
And so I thought, that's a lot of money and a quick turnaround in people. So I just want to make sure that we're using that money for each of those kids. It's going to the right place. But
Absolutely. We've developed extensive criteria for the evaluation of the grants, making sure that those proposals are robust and they're meeting the students' needs. So demonstration of need is an important part of the application.
And final thing, can I ask next month that we get some more specifics on how everything's going?
Would be happy to share that.
Great, thank you.
Of course.
Yes, just acknowledging it does close October 20th, so we would anticipate being able to share even more in November.
September 20th it closes, I think, and it starts October 11th.
The grant period, yes, the application is due in almost 2 weeks.
Yes. Okay, so we'll keep you posted,
Good, thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you. It's an exciting program.
And
so-
that covers which grades? Just,
It is prioritizing 3rd and 4th grade, but applicants are certainly able to demonstrate need in other grade levels.
okay, and how is the tutoring going for the other opportunity that people had to help voluntarily that was started?
You're referring to the NJPSS, President Goldenberg. So yes, so with NJPSS, we continue to receive interest. We haven't scaled to the level that we desire, seeking 5,000 individuals, but we plan to begin our statewide outreach later this month, continuing with Department of Education staff members, many of whom are currently volunteering and volunteered over the summer, as well as all state agencies. So next month, we look forward to giving you an update on the NJPSS progress.
Very good. Approximately now, how many people do we have?
I do not have that current number, and I will get that for you. Yes, because that is a running number, but I will get that number for you, President Goldenberg.
And that is already actively in place, right? That was-
Yes, so the NJPSS, or New Jersey Partnership for Student Success, is currently underway as we have 5 core areas that we are supporting. Mental health, we have learning acceleration, we have educator effectiveness, we have partnerships in early childhood or pre-K. And so with that, we've been able to successfully match individuals who want to share their skill and time with us with districts. We also have individuals who want to help us with program development and help us align resources better and want to lean into districts. So we also have institutions, higher education institutions that want to partner with us and give us access to a cadre of students to help with us. To help us with our initiative. So we're excited, as we did not expect this broad spectrum of interest, but now to try to tailor that to particular numbers. But also we're interested in capturing how districts are also meeting their needs, because many districts are not in need of additional support. They have the support, but the funding that we have may better help them. So we're looking to dovetail those both, and I'll have the NJPSS presentation updated next month for you.
Thank you. Any other questions for the commissioner at this time? Hearing none, we'll go ahead, please, with your Lighthouse presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Today we are here to recognize the 2023 Lighthouse awardees. The Lighthouse program began in 2017. The New Jersey Department of Education and local educators share a common goal of improving educational opportunities for every student. That goal is reflected in New Jersey's Lighthouse Awards. Today's recipients are shining exemplars of New Jersey's efforts to ensure equitable opportunity for students. We extend our congratulations to the school communities of this year's Lighthouse Award recipients. In front of us, I'm glad to welcome again Lisa Habrel, who is our Executive Director for the Division of Teaching and Learning Services, along with Pete Mazzagatti, who is the Acting Director for the Office of Educator Effectiveness. They will tell us more about New Jersey's Lighthouse Award program, as well as introduce us to the outstanding educational institutions receiving this honor today. Please.
Thank you, Commissioner, and good morning, President Goldenberg, Vice President Mulvihill, and members of the State Board of Education. It is my distinct honor to recognize our 2023 New Jersey Lighthouse awardees. The Lighthouse Initiative was launched in 2017 to recognize the advancements made by New Jersey local education agencies, or LEAs. A lighthouse is defined as a structure which provides a beacon of light, helping to guide ships at sea. In the same spirit, those recognized as Lighthouse awardees have shown measurable progress toward educational improvement and equitable outcomes, serving as a beacon of light for others to follow. New Jersey recognizes a new cohort of Lighthouse LEAs every 2 years. Today's group of 5 awardees comprise the 4th cohort. The focus of the 2023 cohort continues to be educational improvement and equity to support Governor Murphy's vision for a stronger, fairer New Jersey, with the 3 identified areas as follows. Increasing equity and dual enrollment. The LEAs recognized in this category have shown purposeful, measurable progress in increasing dual enrollment for traditionally underserved populations. Research has found that dual enrollment programs lead to higher degree attainment for those who have access to them. Increasing equity in AP and IB course enrollment. The LEAs recognized in this category have shown purposeful, measurable progress in advanced placement and international baccalaureate programs, with a focus on increasing the representation of traditionally underserved student populations in the rigorous coursework associated with these areas. Finally, increasing diversity in the teacher workforce. The LEA recognized in this category has shown purposeful, measurable progress in recruiting and retaining a diverse group of teachers which more closely represents the demographics of the students served. Lighthouse awardees have gone through a rigorous identification and vetting selection process. The process involves the following 3 steps. Step 1, data analysis. An initial pool of LEAs from across the state were identified through an equity-based quantitative data review. This analysis includes selecting up to 3 from each category of LEAs from the north, central, and southern portions of the state. Step 2 involves an internal programmatic review. From here, offices throughout the department review the initial pool of LEAs to ensure the final potential awardees have met the high criteria demanded of this recognition. Step 3, the submission of application narratives. The department reached out to a final group of LEAs to submit narratives for consideration. From there, a panel of both internal department staff as well as esteemed educators from throughout the state scored the stories, deliberating to ensure selected LEAs met the standard in each of the respective categories. This process has led us here today. I will now turn it over to Dr. Mazzagatti to introduce you to these extraordinary educational institutions.
Thank you, Lisa. Good morning, everyone. I sincerely thank you for a few moments of your time today to talk about some truly outstanding work. The LEAs being recognized today are not the only bright spots in New Jersey, but they are among the brightest in this work. We are truly excited to be working with each of them moving forward. So our 2023 Lighthouse awardees are as follows. First, we have the Morris County Vocational School District, who is being recognized for their work in increasing equity and dual enrollment. Highlights of their story include the following. In 2019, they created an equity task force to determine strategies which would increase access to district's programming by attracting and retaining a more diverse student population. The task force included a variety of stakeholders, including students. Since then, faculty members and administrators have worked to develop relationships with a variety of local colleges and universities to increase dual enrollment opportunities for students. In addition, they have hired 2 college and career counselors to support students participating in dual enrollment by helping them understand how to qualify for dual enrollment program opportunities, register and schedule courses, and meet college requirements. With us today from the Morris County Vocational School District is Superintendent Scott Moffitt, Sherry Castelli, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum Instruction, Athena Borzecco, the Director of Student Services and Special Education, Michael Gowdy, Manager of Grants and Admission, and they are joined by Executive County Superintendent Nancy Gartenberg. I would ask them to please stand to be recognized for their efforts.
Dr. Mascali, we're going to take a picture with him and come up front.
Great.
Greg, President Goldenberg. Oh, congratulations. Give you a hug. Yes, please, President Goldenberg. So good to see you too. Congratulations. Let's hand over there. So good, congratulations. Come in. How are you? Yes, please, let's take our photo with the board president.
Do they want to take off their tags?
Oh, yes, take off your tags, please. Here we are. Greg, is that fine? You have us? Or should we get closer? Congratulations, we'll be able to visit. Okay?
Today's second recipient is the Middlesex County Vocational and Technical School District. They are also being recognized for increasing equity in dual enrollment. Highlights of their story include the following. In 2020, they made providing equitable access to career and technical education programs for all students in the county the focus of their comprehensive local needs assessment. The district has worked to ensure every student has open access to every career and technical education program across the district, as well as the choice of school they attend. This has included streamlining the application process so all students complete the same application. Advertising programs to underrepresented, non-traditional, and marginalized populations was the focus of the 2022-2023 school year for Middlesex County Vocational Technical, and this was informed by student suggestions to broaden the reach of this campaign. Finally, they have partnered with an equity consultant to develop a 3 to 5 year equity plan, focusing their 2022-2023 staff development efforts on culturally responsive pedagogy. With us today from Middlesex County Vocational Technical School District is Superintendent Jorge Diaz, the Director of CTE, Lee Niemand, and they are joined by Executive County Superintendent Kyle Anderson. I'd ask them to please stand to be recognized for their efforts.
Congratulations, great work. Hi, Marta. Good to see you. Well, thank you. Congratulations. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, pleasure. We'll be out to visit.
Today's third recipient, Palmyra Public Schools, is being recognized for increasing equity in Advanced Placement International Baccalaureate Program Enrollment, or APIB. Highlights of their story include the following. Palmyra's Board of Education has prioritized equity as a 5-year strategic goal. They partner with Equal Opportunity Schools, an organization that works with LEAs to increase equitable enrollment in rigorous courses. Throughout this partnership, Palmyra solicited feedback from the students and educators with a focus on improving enrollment in advanced courses, in addition to establishing open lines of communication with their families. Finally, Palmyra added a coordinator of accountability and data analysis to the administrative team to build data literacy among their educators and staff. Joining us virtually today from Palmyra is Superintendent Brian McBride, Jaron Toscano, Business Administrator, and Lisa Sabo, Palmyra High School Principal. Again, they are virtual, and I'd like to thank them for their efforts.
Oh, wonderful.
Our fourth recipient is Union County Vocational Technical School District, who are also being recognized for work in increasing equity in AP and IB program enrollment. Highlights of their story include the following. Union County Vocational eliminated prerequisite grades for the AP class registration during the 2020-2021 school year. This led to an increase in the number of students who were able to take AP courses. They also focused on increasing the number of historically underrepresented students in AP courses. This effort has included requiring all students to complete the AP Computer Science Principles course. Finally, they have partnered with the Anti-Defamation League to be part of the No Place for Hate initiative, which promotes diversity, inclusion, and equity for all students through team building programs. With us today from Union County Vocational Technical Public Schools is Superintendent Gwen Ryan, and she is joined by Executive County Superintendent Dal Palmieri. Please stand and be recognized for your efforts.
Thank you so much. Another round of applause for everyone.
Commissioner, we have one more. It's quite all right.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Today's final recipient is Phillips Academy Charter School located in Newark, New Jersey. They are being recognized for their efforts in diversifying the teacher workforce. Highlights of their story include the following. After working with a third-party consultant to complete a needs assessment, they began a push to recruit teachers and staff members who were reflective of the student body and could provide a culturally affirming atmosphere for their students and families. They then launched a recruit and retain committee that leveraged teachers to refer diverse candidates to the school. This committee also worked to update their interview policies and procedures to facilitate the hiring process. Phillips uses data to track the demographics of their student population and inform their hiring goals. This included a push to recruit and hire male educators and staff of color, which has resulted in 7 new hires in diverse roles, as well as bilingual and Latino staff. With us today from Phillips Academy Charter School is Principal Yasmin Sampson and Chief Operating Officer Natalie Guy. Please stand and be recognized.
Congratulations, well done. Please hold for a picture, ladies. Sally, get the center. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. We have to visit. A rousing round of applause.
Lighthouse awardees are not simply thanked, given the award, and forgotten about. And the acceptance of this award comes with a commitment to work with the department in lighting the way for others throughout the state. Throughout this award term, Lighthouse awardees will be asked to exchange ideas and practices with others throughout New Jersey. This includes school visits, sharing lessons learned in various capacities, and learning from awardees as they grow, and the department supports other LEAs in this work. In conclusion, I would like to thank these outstanding educational institutions for their work, as well as everyone's time today for allowing a few moments to recognize them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes. So thank you very much. This is always a wonderful time for us to highlight our Lighthouse Award recipients and to tell you we'll be out to visit and look forward to highlighting you on our social media. So thank you again for all that you do and setting great examples for others to follow. Again, thank you.
Thank you. We're very proud. Thank you.
Please, thank you. So we're moving to items for consideration. Item A, appointments. Madam President and state board members, I have 2 personnel recommendations today. Today, I present for your consideration 2 candidates for appointment. The first is Mrs. Seychelle Onat, for the position of Assistant Commissioner leading the Division of Finance and Business Services. And the second is Dr. Peter Mazzagatti for the position of Director of the Office of Educator Effectiveness. Madam President, I return the meeting to you for discussion.
Thank you. So we were very thrilled to have the opportunity to speak. First, we'll start with your first candidate, with Seychelle Onot, and we ask a lot of questions. And I think that if I could have a motion, please, at this time, please, Mr. Fernara. Motion from Jack Fernara. May I please have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much, Dr. Johnson. Any discussion at this time? Hearing none, you're going to, we're going to vote now. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Any abstaining? Looks like it's unanimous, and we welcome you and look forward to you helping us with our budget. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you. Good morning, and President Goldenberg, Vice President Mulvihill, members of the State Board of Education, and Commissioner Ellen McMillan. I thank you for this great opportunity, and and appointing me as the Assistant Commissioner of the Division of Finance and Business Services. I am so honored and excited to be part of a member of the Department of Education, and I look forward to leading this division, working with you, and implementing the department's initiatives. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very big job. Thank you. And
Yes.
now, would you like to introduce? Okay, and now for our next appointment, we have Pete, and we didn't call you in to meet with us because we know of your work very well within our Department of Education. You've done a spectacular job with things that you've already handled for us. So I'd like to ask for a motion, please, from the board to thank you. Dr. Johnson made the motion. May I please have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much, Sylvia. Any discussion at this time? No? Hearing none. All those in favor, please?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Pete, if you'd like to please come up.
Thank you very much, President Goldenberg, Vice President Mulvihill, State Board and Commissioner. I graduated from Maryland University, and I wanted to be a high school teacher. I never thought I wanted to work for the Department of Ed. And they asked me to be an IGL at one point, and I came up here and I said, okay, I'll go back in a year. And 9 years later, I'm here. Now, I sincerely appreciate this opportunity. I love this work. I love working here. I love working with great districts like we just got to feature. So hope I don't let you down. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We look forward to hearing many more presentations from you.
Mr. Goldenberg, if I can just, congratulations. Thank you for all of you. I felt a little badly that we didn't ask you to come in, but we didn't need to. So I thank you and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Sylvia. Anybody else have comments at this time, Commissioner?
No, I'm ecstatic. It's 2 for 2. So yes, the department continues to forge ahead with great talent. And that's what really makes this job fun. And I really enjoy the work that we do because of the people we have. So welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you again. Congratulations. Now we'll go ahead with item B.
Yes, certification of school districts. Since the August State Board meeting, the executive county superintendents have finalized 41 NJQSAC evaluations for districts. I am recommending 24 of these districts for certification. Chris Irving, Assistant Commissioner for the Division of Field Support and Services, is here to offer the list of districts for certification along with Carla Spates, who is our New Jersey CUSAC coordinator within the Division of Field Support and Services. And they will respond to your questions, please.
Thank you, Commissioner. And good morning, State Board members, President Goldenberg, Vice President Multihill. This morning, we are presenting to you another round or cluster of districts for your approval. We're at a really exciting point. We are at 50%, or close to 50% of our districts have it now being completed and reviewed since we began this process in July and presenting to you. And we look forward to these continued conversations as we end the last cycle of CUSAC. And as you all will see, begin the new cycle that will begin now that September is upon us. Ms. Spade will read to you the list of these districts. Carl?
Yes, the districts are Bergenfield Borough School District, Pagoda Public School District, Englewood Cliffs School District, Fort Lee School District, Minucci School District, Old Tappan Public School District, Riverdale Regional School District, Cedar Grove Township School District, Essex Fells School District, Union Township School District, West Windsor Plainsboro Regional School District, Carteret Public School District, Middlesex County Vocational and Technical School District, Brielle Borough School District, Little Silver Borough School District, Wall Township Public School District, Bayhead Borough School District, Franklin Township Public School District, Manville School District, Montgomery Township School District, North Plainfield School District, Watchung Borough School District, Berkeley Heights School District, and Linden Public School District.
We'll take any questions at this point in time, Commissioner, President Goldberg.
Yeah, I have a question. Do we have this graphic? Possibly, I don't know if we do, but regardless, I have it in front of me. Instruction and programming, I'm thrilled. New school year, new opportunity, getting kids back in classrooms. We have an opportunity to really raise up the instructional and programming piece. When I'm looking at this graphic, we're looking, of course, instructional programming, fiscal management, governance, operations, personnel. In these 23 districts, most of them in financial management, governance, operation, and personnel are all, 197, really, really high scores. Instructional and programming is still, we're at 82, 83, 82, 80, 84. They have to achieve it 80%. I'm looking for, as we're going into this new school year, to really see a huge focus in instructional programming. I think it's just so important that we remember what is most important as we start a school year is that we are putting all of our efforts into helping young people do their very best. My question to the commissioner earlier, been asking about that high stakes tutoring. I want to know that we're really being thoughtful about how are we getting kids up to that next level in instruction and programming. Is there any other information you want to share that, listen, I know the department works so hard. I'm looking at your faces. I've been in so many meetings. You guys do a great job, but for the public, what are we saying? How are we getting those scores up? If they had been, 79, there's not much difference between 81 and 79. These districts, some of them were fortunate enough to just make it. I want to make sure that we're really, the pendulum's going the other way. We're making sure kids are where they need to, especially in instruction and programming. So any bits of wisdom you want to share quickly?
Commissioner?
So I'd like to begin by just offering the perspective of an educator in New Jersey. And I want to begin by stating that our educators, which we all, I think, can agree, do a phenomenal job of meeting students where they are and also looking to propel them forward. And we know that learning is not a straight line, right? And we know that students acquire information at different rates of speed, and we know that metacognition is something that is unique to each individual. So with all of that said, we strive to have every student perform at his or her highest level. And while that is a truism, we understand that the steps to get there are not all in sync. And so we continue to use data to make informed decisions, which the educators here can attest to. And in Pete's department, I'm very pleased to say the educator effectiveness initiatives that tie into professional development for our Rapid and Rapid Plus initiatives will continue to help our educators pivot as we are in this endemic phase, where we're learning how to better support students who have had a mental and the social and emotional reaction to the pandemic that we're all living with. So we balance that with our high expectations and moving students toward reaching their highest level of performance in a manner that reduces maximum frustration. So I just want to be clear by highlighting the great work that is occurring and the great level of skill that it takes for educators to move each child forward while attending to this checklist where we have student performance and achievement data that is a huge portion of the instruction and programming with all of our disaggregated groups, as well as how they attend to curricula, to interventions, and to make sure that we are using the funds. And this is a great plug for me, so just give me another moment to talk about the $1.3 billion we received from our ESSER funding, and our districts are readily looking at expending all of their funds. We are in the second tranche of funding, the CARISA funds, and they're using those targeted funds across 16 categories. So the federal government has offered to assist us, and the creativity that we continue to hear about in our schools, from the summer programming that has taken place to what will start soon, the extended school day, after school sessions, are all part of their comprehensive approach to support students. But we know we need qualified individuals in front of our students. And so the certification fee holiday is a great open entry point where we can have individuals not only obtain their first certification, but add additional certifications so that we can leverage the expertise that our educators have. So I think of our approach as a 360 approach, where the NJPSS coming into play, getting volunteers, and I'm going to tap all the board members to see if we have any time coming up to come into schools as well to help us as we get further into the school year. But that is our approach, because we have a history of a very strong public school system in New Jersey, and we have been ranked at the top or near the top for the past few decades, and I'm very pleased, but that's not enough for us. We want to ensure that every student is moving forward, and I know that through our county offices, under Chris's leadership, all of our county superintendents who are here, and I can attest those three individuals represent really the great work that they're doing, because they have their finger on the pulse of what is going on in each county and convey to us how we can better support them. So that's the system that we have that's working.
I have a question.
So how many, in this last batch, how many schools did you guys review? And what percentage of them got certified or passed, per se, and the score, roughly?
Okay, so we reviewed in this batch 41 school districts.
And how many of them scored what we consider passing 80 or above?
That would be 24.
24, so the vast majority.
Yes.
So my question to you is, if we look at the statistics, and I know that standardized tests is only one way to look at how schools are doing, but if we look at the statewide statistics, we see that roughly, or less than half of the students in New Jersey can pass the English test, standardized test that we give, and less than a third can pass the math test. And that's the average of the standardized test that we give. but the vast majority of these schools are being given passing grades, which presumes they're doing a good job. It just doesn't equate to me.
Okay.
Is there something broken with our system of the way we look at things? Because I don't consider that a success. I mean, not at all.
Sure, and Vice President Mulvihill, before I turn it over to my team, I just want to ensure that we're using the same terminology. We're not giving them, they're earning the scores that are put forward and shared with the board based on the diligent work that they engage in over time. And so the idea that students post-COVID are struggling is to be expected internationally, and we have data to support that. But yet with that, we have districts that have not experienced the same degree of disruption to learning. And so we have pockets of success, and we're learning over time that every student did not respond to the pandemic the same way. So I think that we're not able to draw a corollary between the disaggregated scores or the aggregate scores and the IMP for districts and say that
Absolutely.
We're passing districts while students are failing. That is not actually the proper corollary.
Well, and just specifically, Commissioner, Vice President, student achievement scores are a component of the IMP indicators, but not the total sum. So there is the curriculum adoption, the evaluation of curriculum, the review of curricula within the respective district, and all that together is how we get the IMP scores in which they have. To Board Member Berry's point, the conundrum you speak of though is the work, right? I mean, that is what we as educators, all of us collectively, are charged to do, is to create that playing field and be able to create opportunities for students. As the Commissioner indicated, our department works extremely hard with our colleagues in other divisions. Matter of fact, I spent a good hour with Assistant Commissioner Booker this morning talking about the work that we do interdivisionally with each other, right? And I think that is the beauty of this department with this group, is that we are all willing to kind of roll our sleeves up and look at the student achievement data, but also look at the QSEC data, look at our special education data, look at our numbers with regard to early childhood, and say collectively and individually, how are we going to help move this forward? Because we acknowledge, that passing at 80-something% is great. I mean, we celebrate that. We want districts, to succeed, but we also want districts who are not to rise, and those districts who are at 80 to get to 100. And just know we are committed in my division, and I speak. I'm sure I hope I can speak on behalf of my colleagues to say that we are committed collectively to making that a reality for all districts, no matter where students are in the state.
I love when you talk, because it gets me enthusiastic about Education New Jersey, because I believe that you're very focused on that. You're committed to it. I think it's great. I think we have an emergency. We have a real big problem in the state of New Jersey with education. Based upon, and I'm a guy that looks at pretty concrete things, and I look at the test scores, and I know there's other things to look at. Only half the kids on average can pass your standardized English test, and less than a third can pass your math test. You got a problem. We got a huge problem. And to see that in all these districts, they're getting passing grades, that means, they're not being put on quote unquote probation, or whatever the terminology is. I don't know. It just doesn't. The two don't add up. But I think I made my point, and appreciate your efforts and your focus on trying to lift everyone up, and keep in your efforts to do that. And hopefully we'll turn this ship, because we got a problem here we have to deal with. Thank you.
Vice President Mulvihill, I'm just disappointed that my remarks don't energize you and make you feel very positive about the future. So saddened by that, but I'll get over it.
Your demeanor always makes me very bright as my day.
Oh, thank you.
Chris, can I ask a follow-up question?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm looking at, I think Andy and I think all of us are here about the education piece, what kids are doing, how they're learning. So I'm looking at, we just spent $4.5 million on climate change education. Awesome. We're spending money on things. We have the $52 million for the 3rd and 4th grade tutoring program. where, are there any grants on the horizon? Because you make our day and you energize us. What grants are out there that are hardcore just math and literacy? What are the things that are out there on the horizon, maybe I'm not hearing about, that are really going to work with the nuts and the bolts of teaching kids in the classroom to be more proficient in reading and mathematics? Is there something there?
Yes, there's
It's a whole lot.
quite a bit of money, over $1 billion there with the CARISA funding. That is the second round of ESSER. And so we allocated 75% of our state set aside for the advancement of STEM education, and that's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, knowing that the data suggested that students were experiencing greater challenges in the area of mathematics during the pandemic, and 25% for visual and performing arts along with ELA, because we know that students also learn through play or through expression. And so districts are allocating those funds accordingly, and we did set aside funds for mental health for educators and for students, because we know the way in which you enter school and how you see yourself plays a role in how you learn. So that is the largest grant we're focusing on now, because it does close on September 30th of this year for expenditure of funds. And yet we have one additional tranche remaining, which is the ARP, excuse me, the ARP ESSER tranche, and that was our largest tranche, over $2 billion allocated to us, where 90% of the allocation went straight to districts. So we know that the funding is there, and we know based on our local control system that districts are skilled in taking those funds and using them to meet their needs, which might not be in one of those areas based on their data, but we wanted to further supplement and say, from the state, we're going to give you additional funding to buoy those areas I described, with the intent to see all students rebound faster and perform at higher levels.
So the NJSLA results that will be shared with the board and the public will be forthcoming, and that will be more intricate details for us to really dig in to see kids throughout the system, how they're doing in each grade, both in English and mathematics specifically. And we look greatly forward to that. I understand it's already gone out to the districts, but at the Department of Ed level, they're going to get back all the information based on the details of economics and race and all the different details that go into it, special education, subsets, all the subsets. And we'll look forward to receiving that as soon as we can, so that the schools and the state can help move forward in helping students more so.
Yes, and so President Goldenberg, we look at this approach to giving the districts a head start to, if you will, tend to what is going on in their own house. So they get their data and they have knowledge of what state averages are. But with 665 school districts, our assessment department has to ensure that the compression of that into disaggregated subgroups is accurate, and that can be shared with the board. So we are working diligently, and I look forward to bringing that to the board, and hopefully, in which I haven't seen the data yet because it's not completed yet, be able to share good news of a rebound in at least some areas, which is what we anticipate, which follows a national trend.
I look forward to that very much.
Absolutely.
Very much. I want to see. Any other questions at this time about the CUSAC 24 districts that we're being asked to approve? Hearing none, may I have a motion, please, on the certification for the districts, for the 24 school districts for certification?
Motion.
Thank you. Sylvia gave a motion. May I please have a second? Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Any further discussion before we vote? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, please say nay.
Nay. And President Goldenberg, I believe I have to abstain. The place where I live is on the list. Is that correct?
Any
Correct.
abstentions? Now we hear from Fatima and from Mary Beth Berry, 2 abstentions. I did not have that on mine, so thank you for letting us know. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you, Mary Beth. So the count, I only heard 1 nay. Am I correct, Director Schoner? Just one. So the motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. And President Goldenberg, moving on to item C. Is that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Today I present for first discussion the readoption with amendments of Chapter 3, Controversies and Disputes. This chapter sets forth the general rules of procedure established by the department for the filing of petitions with the commissioner to hear and decide controversies and disputes arising under school laws. It also establishes special rules of procedure for certain controversies, including tenure matters. Jennifer Killa Herrera, Executive Director in the Division of Legal and External Services, and Jennifer Simons, Director of Controversies and Disputes, is here to present an overview of the proposed amendments and to respond to your questions. Please, Jennifer.
Hello, President Goldenberg, Vice President Mulvihill, members of the State Board, and thank you, Commissioner, for the introduction. Thank you all for having us here today to discuss Chapter 3. As the Commissioner indicated, these rules establish procedures for the filing of petitions with the Commissioner to hear and determine all controversies and disputes arising under the school laws in accordance with NJSA 18A 6-9. The rules also establish special procedures for specific types of controversies, including but not limited to tenure charges and the denials of entitlement to attend school due to residency laws. The key areas in Chapter 3 are the filing and answering of petitions, the filing and answering of tenure charges, transmittal of cases to the Office of Administrative Law or an arbitrator, and the issuance of written decisions. I seem to have lost my PowerPoint. I'm sorry. Thank you, Beth. The goals of the proposed amendments are to ensure consistency with current practice, particularly the significant increase in filings by email, to provide clear direction to the public to make filing petitions easier, more efficient, and less costly, and to streamline the processing of petitions and improve the time period for transmitting matters to the Office of Administrative Law for further proceedings. The changes in the proposed amendments include eliminating the requirement that filings be received by 4:15 p.m., which is a remnant from hard copy filings, but has caused confusion for members of the public, and it's no longer really necessary in light of the increased use of email filing. We'll also be eliminating notary requirements because notaries may charge for their services, so removing the provision makes filing a petition completely free, and eliminating requirements related to the use of filing by fax. And that's our summary. I would be happy to take any questions you might have.
Board members?
They sound like very common sense solutions. Thank you.
That's the aim. Thank you.
I recall when we had just voted to allow them to be sent by email as opposed to paper copies. So we're continuing on that vein.
Yes,
so.
Absolutely. Since that change, it has upticked dramatically. Most of our filings are now received by email.
Wonderful. Yeah, the notary thing is I'm a notary, but it's very often very, very difficult for people, particularly during COVID, to get a notary to sign off on things, and then you have to have the original. So I think that's true.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments at this time? Hearing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Eliminating. Who has one?
Okay, is there any new business to discuss at this time?
Yes, President. I had asked a question in executive session, which I think it's appropriate. I had asked a question in executive session, which I think is appropriate to bring up in the public session. And that is, I asked what process the board would need to take in order to reopen Chapter 7 in light of the reaction that we've gotten. And our attorney from the Attorney General's office is going to advise us between now and the next meeting the process that might be appropriate if we determine as a board to undertake such a thing, whether we have the authority to or whether we can encourage the commissioner to. But it's we're going to hear back from him as to what the appropriate process might be. So I just wanted to make that public.
Any other comments at this time?
Just new business comments.
New business?
Well, yeah, I have.
You have to speak into the microphone a bit more, maybe. Thank you.
Sorry. I don't know that this is so much new business. It's expounding on the commissioner's report earlier. Thank you for that report on suicide prevention. We saw a lot of that this year in young people, and I thank you for following up. And also wanted to add a couple of things. There are some numbers that people should be aware of. If you're in an imminent threat or somebody else is of suicide, 911, of course, but also you can call and text in New Jersey 988 for the crisis hotline. We have the people between 10 and 24. Its overall cause of death it's the 15th leading overall cause of death. And the sad thing is we're 50th in the country, which means that we have the least, and it's the 15th leading cause of death. I hope that people will continue to look for signs and to help their neighbors and themselves. There are rises in first responders since COVID. Being a cop mom and a fire wife, it's disturbing to me to see increases in those numbers, but there are also places that they can get help. There's the 866 cop to cop, that's a 2 in the middle of that, and the veterans increases in suicide attempts and completions among veterans. There's an 866 vets NJ4. I hope that this kind of stays at the forefront of our minds because it's not something that's going away, particularly as we learn to live with the international pandemic that has impacted everybody so much. That's it. I don't mean to end on a sad note, but it can be a happy note with prevention.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia. Anybody else have new business at this time? Hearing none else, I'd like to please have a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second. Thank you, Mary Beth. All those in favor of adjournment, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much.
I'm